You ever get excited about buying something you probably shouldn't buy?
I really wanted to buy a Switch, alright? But my girlfriend was like,
You've been spending a lot lately. New computer, new drone, new camera. Maybe hold off on this one. Okay. So I'm telling my friend Bobby, and he's all like, bro. It's Nintendo. 2 hours. I cracked in 2 hours. And I didn't go skimpy on those extras either. I bought those controllers. I actually have a good reason, too.
but the thing is, the girlfriend, I didn't tell her.
And looking back, I probably should have just told her right away. My bad. But I didn't. And I don't think I ever would have. I sort of like, oh yeah, this has been in the garage. This is from like the 80s, 70s. It's an old, one of those Neo Geo Game Gear Prism thing. Back when video games were on records. Which is totally stupid. In the words of a giant blue floating man, tell her the
truth. The Nintendo Switch is the most important purchase of my entire life. You know I stole my DS, right? And it only gets worse from there. This is the story of how I've weaseled my way into every system I've ever owned, except for the Switch.
Now the PS4 story is probably the craziest, but first, we gotta rewind. My first Nintendo. It's Christmas in a Toys R Us. I just turned like 12 maybe. My grandparents did this cool thing where they'd take us and let us spend $50 on anything.
It was really generous of them, but for some reason that year I couldn't leave the video game aisle.
Just stood there playing Super Mario World over and over again. And like every 15 minutes, Grandpa would stop by.
It's time to pick your toys, kiddo.
I know, it's okay. I'll go look soon.
I never really asked them to buy it for me, and I had complete intentions of picking a toy. But after a few hours of them waiting, this happened.
I talked it over with Grandma.
Turns out, he hadn't talked it over with anybody. Reminds me of something that happened to me. Honestly, maybe you should set a better example, Grandpa. And look, I know getting one system kinda for Christmas isn't that bad, but PS4, PS3, Dreamcast, Wii, PlayStation, Atari, something called a VTech Socrates. At a certain point, you start to feel like you're stealing these things. Perfect example? My Dreamcast. Before I tell you what happened, thank you so much for clicking subscribe and the like button. It helps a ton. Did you click it yet?
Okay, back to the Dreamcast.
It wasn't always mine. No, for the first few weeks of its life, it belonged to Bobby.
My man. My Dreamcast.
Whoa, cool!
Bro, careful with that.
He was super protective of it. He didn't do this, but it almost felt like he made you wear gloves just to hold the controller. You know what I mean?
Honey, I made brownies for you and your friends.
Yes. Bro, no crumbs in the room.
Okay. If everyone at the party, I was the only one eating the brownie, sitting there in the hall, stuffing my face full of chocolate. You saw my pizza eating challenge. You know I can eat. I must have stuffed my face full of like 10 trays of brownies. The whole night's a blur. But I do remember the next morning getting woken up to this. Yeah, oh my God. What did you boys do in here?
It turns out that a teenager can only eat so many brownies before he completely throws up.
Well, at least I only threw up on the controller. Ew, just keep the whole thing. Gross.
Yeah, I got to keep the Dreamcast, right? And this is probably why I bought extra controllers for my Switch, because you never know when I'm gonna eat brownies. Now, obviously, not every system was a straight guilt theft, right? Like my Wii, my PlayStation, those were just straight up birthday gifts. But still, at a certain point, you're like, for the love of God, would you just let me pay for one of these things? Like my PS4 story, it's honestly ridiculous. Meanwhile, things like that VTech Socrates I got, kind of like an educational video game system. It was the thing before Leapfrog, I didn't know what it was. I didn't want it. It was just one of those days, where I was home from school, being an annoying little 6-year-old. Mommy, look at me! Mommy, look at me!
My mom couldn't take it anymore. She called up my Uncle Chuck. This kid is annoying the shit out of me. 40 minutes later,
welcome to VTech Socrates.
And if any of these things happened just once, maybe I wouldn't feel so bad, but it's just that it's all of them together. Even my PS4.
Now, the only system I can't remember getting is my original Game Boy, right? And I don't know what sort of dark, mysterious things happened for me to get this thing, but the only person in my family that knew anything about my Game Boy was my sister.
Oh yes, brother. I remember that Game Boy well.
Oh, you do? Well, make it quick. I don't like long phone calls.
In that case, let me make this the longest, juiciest, lengthiest, all but opposite of shortest video story possible.
She told me this whole elaborate story that I'd never heard before, and it was so interesting that I think it needs to be its own video.
And that, brother, is the story of your Game Boy.
So if you want to see that story, definitely leave a comment down below, or you can just hit that like button. Now, my PS4. Possibly the most ridiculous story I have. A free PS4. Like many of you, I was just looking at it, wanting it, trying to will it into my life. And unlike the Switch, my girlfriend successfully talked me out of buying this one. But then something bad happened. This is a bad thing. I know it's crazy, but one game made me want to buy this system. One. And I was telling everybody about it too.
So my girlfriend doesn't want me to buy it, but I'm like, I need to buy at least one system. I feel like I should. It's just the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
I really feel for you. Did you want to add fries and a drink?
Can you hurry up? I got 3 kids.
Do they have a PS4? Can I come over?
No! If they're annoying, get them a VTech soccer team.
So finally I'm backstage at this big show I got, Booby Trap. Y'all have heard me talk about it. It's the best show in LA. And I'm talking to the guy that runs the show, telling him how much I want a PS4.
Today's your lucky day.
What? No, this isn't happening again.
I recently did a show at this guy's house in Texas.
Oh my god, it's really happening! So the guy that owned the house was responsible for one of the biggest games on PlayStation. But I can't tell you what it is because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. The important part is this dude is so cool that he put a theater in his house to entertain his friends. And after my friend performed, this happened.
You kidding? You got the stuff. The chutzpah, the glitz, the glam, you got it all. Big things, Hollywood, glitz, glamour, stars. Here's a PlayStation.
So back in LA, he's telling me how this all went down. And he goes,
I don't play video games, so you can have it.
yeah, every system I've ever owned has been given to me for free. And I'm proud to say I earned this one. I bought my Nintendo Switch. And Nintendo, if you're watching, I'll gladly accept a copy of Mario Kart or Splatoon 2 or Mario Odyssey. Like, seriously. I already did my good deed. I bought the Switch. And while my girlfriend did not approve at first, once she played it, she loved it. What about you? Do you want a Nintendo Switch? Let me know down in the comments. And once I figure out this whole friend code thing, I'll let you know mine on Instagram. And if you do want a Switch, but can't afford one, I feel for you. Just throw up on your friends and I hope it works out. Look at all that fan art! No, this was a design contest to design Bobby's mom. Congrats to Penny Lane Morales, who won this week's design contest. And if you want to submit your own, follow me on Instagram and Twitter for details. I'm itsAlexClark, and I will see you somewhere, okay? Bye!